for them, and that's how they win those team fights, and that's how they become that kind of top tier team in the league. So is Ilios? I think you might be a little bit more excited for Ilios than me.
Yeah, I like you. No, man, I was psyched for Hanamura, but Ilios is as far as King of the Hill maps go, it's one of my least favorites. I think. I much prefer Nepal and Lijiang over it, but you know, is able to produce some fun games regardless. Savage Beast also plays Genji, by the way. I'm not saying that's what is actually going to happen here, but
I hope it does, kinda.
It might. You know, it's not impossible, but it looks like he's sticking out for now. I expect him to switch because we have seen these triple threat compositions coming out from Team Underdogs here, so it's not unheard of. On the other side, Jean has played quite some Reinhardt, so that would not be super surprising either. Reinhardt, I mean McCree, excuse me. So that wouldn't surprise me. Lots of cool picks coming out here, and Darky on the Roadhog. That is just
Savage is sticking to it. That's exciting. I'm very excited to see the Genji come out. Smokey is going to be playing that Winston, so they're only running one tank here. So lots of damage, but they do need to use this damage effectively. Otherwise, their lacking front line will be a bit of a problem. And looks like we're going to get Zen's first kill on the game. Straight onto Runzen. Smokey's going to come through onto Jean. So 2 for none so far in favour of Underdogs.
Oh, really nice boot from Daggers there. And that should secure the point for the team of Underdogs here, which is a nice start. Ilias is, said before, it's pretty snowbally, so that makes it kind of hard to really make something happen. Runza gets sniped by Strong again. Not a great way to start off your first map.
He's doing fantastic on the Zenyatta. Just laying out the damage. I mean, when I say you've got multiple DPS characters, Zenyatta I wasn't really talking about, but he is in there to do a lot of damage because Zenyatta does so much, and with that Discord Orb as well, it's really, really, really big. I'm excited to see what Savage Beast is going to do. He's quite close towards that Dragon Blade now, almost 70%. As we're seeing the team come through a different side, but Darky has picked off Savage Beast, and the Zenyatta has been put to sleep. So it looks like we're now getting a bit of a flank, and that's going to be Jean with a kill. The bop pops Mambo out of the map, but Vortex does get dropped as well. So it's a 1-for-1 there, but Jean manages to take Deggers out as well. And now we're going to see Entropy get themselves on the point. Jean with 2 kills on the McCree. That's going to be Vexen with 1 onto Bulls, and it looks like they're going to capture themselves the point.
Looks like we need a pause. One of the players seems to have ping problems, so that gives us some opportunity to, you know, talk about the game. Actually, last week some games got cancelled due to Malta ISP problems. Very unfortunate.
Fortunately, one of the things that happens on online tournaments, you do have to put your home internet. And if there's anything like the internet I'm using, not very good.
So what was really, because that was a pretty interesting turn of events. That 2 on the ping, that's terrible. Pretty interesting turn of events there. What happens is first Savage Beast gets picked off, which in of itself it isn't necessarily a real problem. But you see with the composition that the team of Underdogs is running here, that it's very snowbally either way, right? Like if you're able to like pick off Mamo or Darky and you take out those threats, a composition with that much damage can really quickly snowball over the enemy team, because you have the Pharah who, if she's not dealt with, is just a huge nuisance, even against two hit scan characters and an Ana. Then you have Smokey in your backline and the Winston. Strong is, as we've seen, a very strong Zenyatta being able to win that 1v1 against Runza a couple of times now. And you also have Savage Beast on the Genji. So you have a lot of threats, but at the same time, and that's what you saw here, as soon as they lose one of their plays, it becomes really hard for them to launch an effective push, because without those threats, you just get picked off one by one because you don't really have a front line.
Yeah. And I mean, also looking at, obviously, the snowball potential, talking about ultimates coming up, Savage Beast, like I said, didn't really get any charge. He got 7% and then got picked. So instantly kind of became a bit of a hindrance. And this obvious over-aggression that we do see out of Savage Beast, again, coming through even on a squishier character, maybe standing a little bit too forward. Obviously, he's only got the Winston on the back, so the Winston's the only thing keeping him alive there. Obviously, Winston's quite close to going full ape mode with his ultimate almost coming up. So if you do look at the back catalogue and the ultimates available, They are charging up. Obviously, Drafty does have the nano boost available, and we are about to see Deadeye as well come through onto Gene. But then you look across the board, you've got Transcendence, you've got the Rocket Barrage, you've got Winston's, I can't actually remember the name of it, and you've also got
Primal Rage,
Primal Rage, that's the one. And you've got Bulls almost with that Tactical Visor as well. So lots of ultimates about to get cashed in, and Underdogs with 48% to 4%. They do have now the flexibility to use those ultimates because they won that initial fight and that gave them that first bit of time to push with. So yes, they have just lost the point, and yes, they have died a little bit, but they do have a little bit of flex now to work with.
Yeah, and that's one of the things why a lot of pro players are huge fans of Ilios. As thought we were going back in the game with another pause.
Teased us there.
Yeah, a little tease. One of the things about Ilios is that it feels very snowbally. So what you just described, right? You have such a big advantage here because you win that first fight, and it's possible here for Entropy to come back, but it's an uphill battle for sure.
Yeah.
I'd like to see. Oh, sorry.
No, go on. Make your point, man.
Like it's always the thing with online, right? Like you have like a second of lag. This happens every time you try to make a win, and you're like, oh, doing the same thing. I look to switch up the position. I mean, they really need to something a little bit more. This is very
a little bit robot mode. I don't know if that's my end or your end there. I have to find out. Hopefully we're going back to this game relatively soon. I mean, when we're talking about more of these kind of back catalog abilities available, it's getting close towards the Earth Chapter and Darky as well. So it's not completely like Entropy being down. They have got the point in their control and they can look after it. So hopefully we can see these ultimates come through for Entropy as well. Obviously, like I was saying, Underdog with that kind of spectrum, the ability to kind of get themselves that initial push has bought them 9. They've still got 50% to go, yes, but Entropy, Dogs can play a little bit kind of more flexible here. Let's see whether or not they're going to be able to pull that through. I feel Savage Beast, he's in a weird position at this point. He's getting close to that ultimate, and if he can make something happen with it, that'd be great. But if he uses it and it doesn't work, then that could be a little bit of trouble for him because obviously Savage Beast uses his ultimate, doesn't land anything, he's going to need to think about switching because the Genji so far, he's been caught twice on it and it's been relatively costly. The first time they already managed to get themselves a win and they did manage to get them, I say a win, they managed to get themselves on top of the point. But the second time it actually cost them the point because they suddenly took a 5v6. So maybe looking towards running a second tank might be something Savage Beast needs to think about. Yeah,
especially against it's even if you have the triple threat composition. I mean, you can consider Winston somewhat of a threat as well.
Yeah,
playing Genji against or into McCree, Anna, and Rodog is pretty risky. Like, it's not as bad as a Winston, but still, it's a composition that is able to punish you fairly hard for making relatively small misplays.
Yeah,
as I was saying before, I feel like it's a composition that kind of feels like it's a bit braggy. If that's if you know what I mean. It's very. We can pull this off because we're exactly. Yeah. We can pull this off because we think we're better players. So I'm like, that's a fair stance to take, but it can backfire really easily as well, as we saw in the last team fight, like you pointed out. So we are getting back into the game, fortunately, and the first point retake try is going to be undertaken here by Team Underdogs. Pretty normal positioning. Vortex is able to get over Savage Beast.
Savage Beast has done it, and he's going to unsheath the blade. That's going to be Chin just putting him straight down with the grenade, managing to get himself. The Primal Rage has come through, and Smokey gets one. Bulls with the Tactical Visor takes up Mambo, and so has Deggers. That is going to be Bulls with a double kill on the Soldier. Fantastic capture there. And the control's back in Underdog's favour.
Yeah, and Savage Beast gets blown up immediately, but because Smokey was in there with him and the rest of his team was quick to follow up, all the resources wasted on killing him we're not ready for the rest of the team. Oh, Smokey is that monkey there. Oh,
He's done it again.
Does pick up Drafty though, combined with Smokey. So I feel like those two, even though they're playing a bit risky, have some pretty good synergy. And Mano steps too forward, gets picked off. Vortex does get taken down, which shouldn't be surprising considering the double hit scan composition and an Ana on the enemy team. We have 6 ultimates, or 5 ultimates rather, with Nana who's been quite well off.
That's going to be a Kanjin land the high noon. The Deadeye doesn't actually get anything, but Balls does manage to pick him up. As we're going to see Smokey just leap onto the back line. Balls with a double kill. Darky goes full hog. That's going to be Mambo getting himself one as well. Can they get any more? The overtime is ticking away, and it looks like Entropy are going to need to make something happen. But the Rocket Barrage takes out Mamo, and it looks like they're going to try and go for a couple more. Vexen is going to go hopping around, but that Savage Beast slashing through with a double kill on the Genji. Overtime is ticking away. The Dragon Blade is going to get pulled, and it's going to be enough for them to manage to get themselves on top of the point. And that's point 1 going to Underdogs.
So, at the end there, kind of a lot of cool stuff happening. So first you have Darky trying to come in with a flank with whole hog up. Because of that, he draws a lot of attention to himself, but he gets blown up rather fast. Then a really aggressive play from Daggers on that Lucio, who's able to knock Renza into the pit. It didn't show, but he was the one who booped him off. And because of that, it becomes really hard, you know, without your soldier and with the high noon, it wasn't as effective as I would have liked. So it feels like there was a little bit of discommunication there, or miscommunication between Gene and Darky, because I think they were trying to, you know, have Rodel draw the intention, and everyone turns around, and then Gene snipes everyone with the use of the Deadeye, but to no avail. Looks like Bulls is the only one that switched here, switched to Trace, so everyone else is still on the same characters. Memo switched to Winston, so and Draft has switched to Zenyatta as well, which is interesting considering in this patch Ana has not been nerfed as of yet.
Well, once again, it's going to be Zaref on the Zenyatta with 1 kill, and Savage Beast goes straight into a double kill. Underdogs just walk over Entropy and get themselves straight on the point. A point I was going to make is this tournament seems to be filled with Tracer mains, all these kind of pocket Tracer mains. They're everywhere. Yeah, Gotiki, obviously the big one. Also, he's a Tracer and Widowmaker as 2 kind of secret mains. It's Deggers. Is he going to get the pop? Actually, doesn't. Oh, he does manage to pop Bronzer off, so they're down for Soldier. Good little kill there for Deggers. So seeing Entropy trying to group up, and Gene puts him to sleep. Well, stuns him with a grenade, manages to take him out there. Smokey trades with Mamo. Still, Bulls getting himself a kill onto Drafty, and the hook's going to go a little bit wide here. Savage Beast playing incredibly aggressive in the room, dashing around, getting the jump, but Gene does manage to drop him.
Yeah, Bulls being a real nuisance there, you know, dodging out, dodging hooks, dodging stun grenades. Smokey, I'm not sure whether I like him on Winston. I've seen him been over-aggressive a couple of times now. And I feel like the rest of his team is performing rather well, even though Daggers has some notes of over-aggression as well. So I'd like to see both him and Smokey play a little bit more defensively, because it feels like right now Vortex, Savage Beast and Bulls, and Strongy, honestly, as well, are making sure that nothing goes wrong. But I see Smokey and Daggers are playing a little bit too aggressive to my liking, which isn't really necessary. If you
he's on fire, man. He got 2 kills with a bot. I don't know what you're talking about. Savage Beast has that Dragon Blade available, so let's keep our eye on him, see how he uses it. Vortex has his back as well with the Tactical Visor. Gene has managed to take out Bulls now, so that's going to be the Primal Rage thrown out as Mambo manages to pick up Savage Beast. That's going to be Darky with himself getting one. Transcendence is thrown down, and both the apes are just swinging their arms around like madmen. And can Smokey get anything? He does manage to take out Runza. It's going to be Vortex with the Tactical Visor with 1 onto Gene. Darky hooks Vortex, gets him into place, and it's 87%. Entropy needs to capture this point. That's going to be Darky with a double kill as he goes full hog, looking for more. Bulls takes out Vexen. He's not going to be able to capture the point as Mambo drops out Bulls, and that is going to be the cap for Entropy.
There we go. That was a well-deserved cap. Great team fight on their side, and now they're able to recuperate. Have 2 ultimates. Please, Mamo, don't get picked off. he goes back. I would be so sad if, like, then he gets picked off and they, you know, just lose the point. So, they should be able to deal with... Oh, Smokey already goes in.
It's the sound barrier. The Dragon Blade is getting ready to pull out. Let's see if they're going to use it. No, they bait out the enemy one. This is going to be Savage Beast charging in. Runza and Vortex get dropped. Runza drops Vortex. That's going to be a double kill with the rockets on the Savage Beast. And the control has gone firmly into the hands of Entropy at this point. Bulls gets killed as well by Drafty. And unfortunately, 2 ultimates used there by Underdogs. And they don't gain anything out of it. Drafty has the available of that nano boost as well. So let's see whether or not he's going to use that as the hook from Darky. Narrowly misses Savage Beast.
Yeah, and as I was saying, like Smokey goes in already without the rest of the team not able to follow up as of yet.
He's doing it again and again.
Does have Primal Rage though.
Primal Rage gonna get popped. Can they get anything else? The bop, the knock, Smokey, and Zeph, that's 2 kills. Can they get any more? Vortex comes in with Runza. Can they get anything else? The Gene, Deadeye is down. The Zenyatta as Vortex is going to pop out Gene, but Bull's coming in with Vexen. Mambo gets himself one as well. Are they looking for more? Can they get more? The cap's going to come through 96%, 97%. I don't think Entropy are going to be able to pull this back unless they just tunnel mode onto the point. Overtime ticking away. Darky with the hook onto Bulls manages to drop in, but it is too late.
Oh, Runza was running so fast, man. I thought he was going to make it. Man, that last team fight was hilarious. So I was like, Smokey, are you sure you want to go in there? And then he activates Primal Rage and knocks out 2 people. So what do I know? It was really funny there at the end. You had Smokey and Mamo both in Primal Rage, just smacking away at each other and smacking everyone else out of the lighthouse. In the end, though, not able to catch the point. And I feel like Entropy just needs like a little push. It doesn't feel like they're being run over. It just at crucial moments they are just shy of being able to push through.
Yeah.
Oh, Smokey! Yeah, I love it.
Now, Savage Beast has actually switched off of the Genji, and he's now going to play the Winston. Smokey was hyper aggressive, and you nailed it on. You kind of hit that coffin. You nailed it on the head. There we go. Get the right term eventually. He managed to nail that with the fact that Smokey was going in without his team the whole time. And actually, it's going to be Darky who gets himself a kill. See Savage Beast just take to the air as the Savage Beast as he is, but Vexen's going to get him. That's going to be 2 kills onto Bulls, but I feel Entropy might be the ones with the advantage on the point here, unless Vortex can make anything out of it. But Bulls is actually putting some work in on the Tracer. Dashing around, gets himself 4 in the long run. Zerif, I can't pronounce that name, but Zenyatta.
Oh, I was just about to like slam Savage Beast and Bulls for not communicating, because Savage Beast was like in the enemy backline and Bulls wasn't there yet. But then Bulls gets the Quadra. Wow! Such good Tracer play. Doesn't hit the pulse bomb though, but with how fast that ultimate charges, doesn't really matter as much. It's not what you pick Tracer for. Does get picked off now though, so they need to be careful.
When you're dead.
Yeah, not too... That bravado, which like Savage Beast is like personification of, that's something that really characterizes Underdogs. They just go in and go ham, and you can see that they sometimes overstep. If Entropy is able to make use of that and slow the game down, I think that they're going to find that there's a lot of mistakes being made here.
Oh, Deadeye's going to go. Can he get anyone with it? No, he can't. He gets bot back, so that's not going to get used. The nano boost is going to get thrown back onto Mamo. Mamo just rinsing through the backline, takes out Smokey. Savage Beast goes onto Gene. Can they look for more? Bulls picks up Runza on that Tracer, doing so much work as Savage Beast smashes the glasses over Mamo and kills him. Vortex takes out Vexen as well, and it is just Darky. Savage Beast actually failed the hop there, so he doesn't manage to get himself another kill. But really, really good work coming here from Underdogs. You were talking earlier about how Entropy could look to punish this over-aggression.
Yeah.
Maybe if Entropy aren't a team capable of doing that, it seems like they are feeling a little bit weaker on that.
Yeah.
This is something teams who could be facing Underdogs, maybe in a later stage, could be looking for. We are going to see the Transcendence come out as 3 kills come straight through for Entropy. It looks like now they're going to try to punish, as we're going to see Savage Beast hopping back, but he has obviously got the grenades and no healing coming through to him quite yet. Darky has dropped Vortex, and once again, with 90% on the clock, can they hold? Savage Beast is putting everything he has into protecting it, but Runza drops him. 95%. Entropy need to play super careful because this is the last map for them on map 1.
Like, there is a reason that Winston is getting buffed in the next patch, and no one but MRO plays Winston. He is such a tricky hero to get the hang of. Like, there are very few heroes, but
Graviton Surge on just so many members! Balls with the triple kill! That's gonna be Zenyatta getting himself one! Vortex comes up onto Vexen, and Runza, he's runsing away, but he is not gonna get the point. That is Underdogs with round 1.
Oh, man. That last, that's going to be play of the game, right? Bulls' call.
That was huge!
Yeah, there we go!
There it is!
Internet switch. Okay, so we're going to have some time to talk about this game. Oh, 3 charges! Look at that! Yeah! That's what
was beautiful.
So,
that gun looks nice and gold as well.
Yeah, he knew. Yeah, but like Bulls deserves all the votes here. I think we can agree on that. Man, I was talking about Vortex and Savage Beast, but Bulls came up huge and strongy as well. Just the entire team of Underdogs is really impressive. Like the individual level of play. I think in a team play sense, they have a lot of you know. I don't want to say errors because it's actually really hard to properly play as a team.
Yeah.
But you know, you can notice a lot of imperfections, rather. So, because what they were playing was a very classic dive comp, right? You can substitute the Tracer for a Genji if you want, but since it's King of the Hill, I don't mind that they went with the Tracer there, especially considering how well Bulls played it. And the key to yeah, man,
so well.
The key to those compositions is that you need a very clear sense of when to engage. And that is something where we saw both the Winstons actually getting punished for in both of the games. And that was what I was referring to earlier as well, which is kind of the reason why you don't really see Winston play as much at the moment, is because he requires such finesse in decision-making to be effective. And what you see now is Smokey or Savage Beast, because both of them played him, or Mamo, just jump in and get blown up, and then Bulls comes in, and they're able to salvage you regardless, but they really shouldn't be able to do that, right? Like, that's on Entropy to not make that happen.
Was that a lack in maybe understanding of Winston, or was that a lack in communication?
Communication in that regard,
because obviously when you kind of dive in as Winston, you expect anyone else who's capable to get on that backline with you, i.e. Bulls on Tracer. He should be doing that as well. And it felt like maybe that was just a lack in communication. So, yeah, he didn't actually manage to follow it up in time. So, kind of when you dive in, you're like, where the hell's my team? That's kind of what I think we saw there with Smokey.
Yeah.
I mean, no matter what, like you said, he did manage to clean up. He did get himself out early quadra. And then, obviously, that Graviton Surge was just beautiful.
Yeah.
But that's all down to Zarya. Every time anyone gets a really good kill, if through a Zarya ultimate, you know that's that.
It feels so good.
So this may be something we want to keep our eye on. Obviously, Bulls on Tracer. It's something that maybe we might see it a little bit more throughout this series. He's just shown that he's very good at it. I like the ability to flex there as well. How we had Savage Beast playing the Genji, accepted that maybe the Genji wasn't quite right for him. He didn't do bad on the Genji. It wasn't a standout performance. But I wouldn't say it was a particularly bad performance. He had a couple of decent multi-kills and then died for it. So trading 2 for 1.
Yeah.
But it wasn't exactly what we needed out of a Genji. But he recognized that and then switched to a tank, a more kind of role we know Savage Beast for playing. So in that respect, I actually I respect him on that. I think maybe that was a good idea. See whether or not they can handle that kind of flex later down the line. Obviously, this is a best of 5. So need to keep their eyes on the ability to kind of flex around.
I feel like this is a good way to start the best of 5. It's not a very lopsided game, even though the score says 3-0. I feel like it wasn't as lopsided in how the games actually went. I honestly though I just Savage Beast play more Winston because it seems like such a good fit for him. It's like a combination of the hyper aggression that he's known for. So. Enough about Team Underdogs here, because we can, talk about it for quite a bit. If you're Entropy here, I think that there's a couple of things that you need to look at, right? Like don't get Mamo on Winston again, because he made a couple of, errors that were at the last team fight there. It's doubtful that they were going to win that with, Graviton Surge and Pulse Bomb being up.
Yeah.
But at the same time, Mamo being picked off for no reason because he was chasing Zrongi too far into enemy territory is just a bit iffy. So just put him on Reinhardt because he can play a pretty mean Reinhardt.
Yeah.
Jean consistently on the McCree. I feel like even though Deadeye isn't a great ultimate, I feel like they're not really making as much use of that as I would like to see. And I feel like maybe he's one of the things that you're going to look at. Okay, maybe we need to approach that differently. I think you want to keep Darky on Road up because I know that he can carry games on that hero. Like, it's that's pretty self-explanatory, I reckon.
Yeah. I mean,
Drafty's. Oh, sorry, you go ahead.
I mean, I was just kind of whacking on the Jean with. I say whacking. I mean, kind of expanding on Jean playing the McCree. You're very right. He did land some decent stuns on like the kind of charging targets. He did pick up balls a couple of times on the Tracer. When we had Savage Beast on the Genji as well, every time the Genji Savage Beast seemed to be doing well, it was always Jean that stunted that progression. He'd get 2 and then suddenly Jean would stun him and then pick him up. So yeah, Jean, yeah, he did okay on the McCree. He did manage to shut down those key members when it was needed. But you're right, they weren't really using the Deadeye to their proper advantage. I think he got 1 kill in like 3 Deadeyes, which just isn't massively great. I mean, yeah, it's quite a weak ultimate. It has a long charge time to actually get the right targets. And you do really need to get a decent flank if you want to get that kind of multi-kill he's capable of putting out. But maybe he's a player to watch. I don't know if we're going to see it on Numbani because that will be the next map. It's not a massively kind of McCree heavy map. It does have obviously lots of high ground you can get to and lots of flank positions potentially you can get to, but I don't feel this is a McCree strong map.
No, I feel the same way. I mean, the first point I think is fine. We have like the perch on the high ground. But besides that, it's not great. However, Jean also plays quite a big amount of Soldier 76.
Yeah.
So, okay, looks like that there's some issues internet-wise. So I'm not entirely sure what is going to happen in that regard. So we can keep talking about Numbani next. As I was saying, I think that switching Jean to someone else, to that Soldier might be a good move because I feel like Soldier is just really strong at the moment. Can't really go wrong with that, right?
Yeah.
If you look at Ronzo, though, because he's a player who we've seen flex the most, because we've seen him on Soldier, we've seen him on a couple of other things as well. And looking at his what he most plays in like his own solo queue is mostly Ana, Lucio. He's a pretty like all-around player. But you already have Drafty and Vaccine for your support needs. So
yeah,
I feel like there's maybe a little bit too much overlap in their hero pools there, which obviously is like fairly suboptimal if you really want to edge out the most of advantages possible.
Yeah. I mean, maybe we want to see, because obviously Farah's very good on Numbani. Lots of kind of round. So maybe we might see Jean switch to something like a Farah. My favourite is always the Reaper on this map, but obviously he's not quite as strong as we're used to him seeing. We're not in that Beyblade stage anymore. But this is one of the few maps where I feel there's lots of high ground for him to kind of drop down along the whole way until that kind of last point. The first 2 points, you could potentially pull off a Reaper. Again, it's a bit of a bravado piece. You kind of just want play of the game when you're doing that.
Yeah.
So maybe not the most smart decision with team making, but if you want to think about smart decision making and constant ability to be in that high ground, Farah would be a good pick for Jean on this map, I think.
Yeah, I agree. You could even throw Vaccine or Drafty on the Mercy, even though she's not amazing. We've seen Mercy used to some degree of success throughout the tournament, so that wouldn't surprise me too much. And don't underestimate how good it is to deal with a good pharmacy. Like, even if you have good hit scan DPS plays, it's still pretty big nuisance if the rest of the team is also able to play well with it. And Numbani has so much room rather for vertical play. So yeah, I agree with you. I'd like to see the fire. It looks like we're still having some ping issues. So Malta, I thought it was like a South Korea deal where because it's small, the internet is very good. But it doesn't look like that's the case, unfortunately.
Probably faster than what I'm currently getting.
That's the UK for you, man.
It's just a new house with a new connection, so
it should
unfortunately
be good,
slow. kind of going back onto the Mercy as well. I mean, one of the strengths that Mercy has is she's just a negator. She negates your ultimates. Let's say you do see someone pick up the Mercy on the side of Entropy, and loads of ultimates get wasted by Underdogs, and they win a team fight, but the Mercy cowers behind somewhere, and then pops out and reses the whole team. You've just blown so much, and that's what Mercy's strength really is. It's not the ability to sit on top of Pharah. While that's really, really useful, her biggest strength is to be able to res multiple members after a team fight, and just kind of resurrect that advantage you just lost because they've just burnt ultimates to kill you all, and then suddenly one ultimate brings everyone back, and you got to do it all again, except this time without your ultimates. That's kind of Mercy's real strength, and especially if you do pair it with that Pharah, she has the protection in the air. She's kind of up there. So until you have a soldier to kind of hit scan her down, or a really, really good McCree, that's kind of what you're looking for. What do you want to see more than what you expect to see? What do you kind of want to see out of this map?
That's a very good question. I wouldn't mind a Torbjorn, honestly. I mean, if we're going to get some, if you ask me what I truly want, I'm like, you know, you can run the proper compositions with the Reinhardts and the soldiers and the Annas and the Lucios. Just give me some like Junkrats or we're loading into the game, so that's good. Finally, no more us talking and more.
No, we might get a Junkrat. You never know. You never know.
We've seen it played here before, but to be fair, like Junkrat, I think it's like God, there we go. I thought we were going to go into the game, but it was a ruse, everyone.
Oh man, one day we'll see Underdogs play Entropy.
So as I was saying, I think like Junkrat is like legitimately bad in the situation because, as we said before, Pharah is actually a possibility, especially considering the fact that Vortex pulled out Ilios as well. Yeah. What does that mean? I do think Torbjorn is still good in that situation. I wouldn't mind Symmetra either, but I don't think running both is good. I would like the offense to pull off a dive composition here. I think that is just who Underdogs are as a team. You know, like the aggressive play, and it's like playmaking. It's aggressive. It like forces your opponent to react to it, which is how they play regardless, right? So you might as well go all in on that. That's what I'd like to see. Another dive composition with a Reinhardt, which is what they're usually doing. It's just, you know, we take Reinhardt, we still play it like a dive composition. Savage Beast is going to charge in. Yeah. Actually play a dive composition, because I think that would really play to their strengths. On the side of Entropy, as we said before, and you were talking about Mercy, and you were making some very good points about, you know, how she's the answer to bad ult economy, right? Like if you're behind an ultimate, one of your ults can negate like 2 or 3 of them if you do a really good job. I feel like that's not really the problem. That it's not like stuff like ult economy. I just feel like it's very basic stuff, right? Like being too aggressive, losing 1v1s consistently, not peeling properly, you know, like stuff that there we go. Is this actually going to be the game now? I don't know, man.
Overwatch now? I've heard so much about it. He's actually on that McCree, but he's hovering it anyway at the least, so maybe something we can expect to see. Like I said,
I don't mind it on this first point. And I think this is a game where you can still play standard if you are Team Entropy. I think if you lose this map as well, that's when you just go comfort picks, or like go a weird composition. Go double sniper, you know. Mata Athena did it, so why wouldn't you? I mean, they're really good, so don't do that. But we do actually have Smokey on the Symmetra. That's what I want to see. Yeah, fat and balls on Pharah. Nice.
Look at this.
That's good.
Let's have a little talk about Symmetra, because this is actually a very strong Symmetra map. It's one of the good places where you can kind of put the turrets around. Let's see actually where Smokey's going to set these turrets up. So what you see some Symmetras do is not what Smokey's doing right now. Is they go to set turrets up near the enemy spawn. So as everyone walks out, they get lasered, lose a bit of health. It's a bit of a nuisance, but what it really does is charge up that ultimate, and it allows Smokey to get that shield or that teleport sooner. I mean, it's a very fast charging ultimate, and we're seeing Smokey set up 6 turrets in one doorway. So if Entropy take a bad turn and walk through there, someone's going to lose a lot of health, and if it's the wrong member, someone could actually die. I I want to see. I assume we're going to see the teleporter come out of Smokey because it's quite a long walk from the spawn to the payload.
Yeah, I like both. It just depends like how they play it. But the composition that we see on the other side is quite some burst, so I like the teleporter more as well.
Well, they're just going to get bopped back there. Let's see. Vortex has managed to pick up Darky straight off the bat. The Bulls is just raining it down.
But I don't think it's going to really pay off now that Darky is picked off.
Well, Savage Beast goes forward, so let's see whether or not he's going to get anywhere. He just swings the hammer around. Now we're going to see Smokey trying to put the laser down. Vortex manages to pick up Gene on the back, and they're just fighting in this staircase. Mamo's going to get himself put to sleep, and Savage Beast just charges him into the wall. That's 2 kills onto Vortex. Looks like the point's going to attempt to get captured, but Vortex sprints backwards. Vortex takes out Darky.
Oh yeah, and that's the stuff I'm talking about. Like, it's not once that gets picked up here as well, that would be really that is so bad because you scatter your your return as well. So this is what I'm talking about. It doesn't feel like the mistakes that they're making is like ult economy or like the more complex layers of gameplay. I just feel like it's very straightforward stuff. You know, why would you expose yourself like that trying to gain a positional advantage when you can also just gain that through different movement on the map? You know, it's not really necessary. Darky gets picked off, so his return is staggered.
Well, Smokey actually finally placed some turrets that are going to do some damage because they haven't done any all game long. A Savage Beast actually manages to pick up Runza. That's going to be vexing onto Savage Beast, so they trade support for tank. Are they going to get anything else? The laser beams are gone. The little webcams are out of there. See where they're going to place more. Smokey running back towards his team. He's running a little low. Has placed the teleporter. Oh, I quite like that positioning, actually. Placed it quite far behind, so maybe unexpected kind of click there. As Gene actually does take out balls.
Projecting a barrier.
Yeah, nice placement indeed. It's not really where you expected to go. If they don't find it there, then you're in a really good spot. Bulls is playing some really aggressive corridor far out there. You know, it's like I don't need to fly. I can just walk through this corridor and like hover. It does get picked up. It doesn't really matter. Now we're gonna have some cool team fights coming up because we have 4 ultimates on both sides. Zrongya almost has that Graviton Surge. Darky and Vexen are coming pretty close to this as well.
Savage Beast seems to be really good at picking up Runza, constantly just finding him. And Gene does manage to drop Smokey. Obviously, there is the teleport available, so he's going to be able to get back fairly soon, and he's going to be needed to do it fairly soon. Savage Beast with a 3-man Earth Shatter misses the charge forward, but Daria manages to get himself 2.
And Mamo, this is
going to be 4. They get pretty much everyone. 5 kills coming through onto the side of Underdogs. There is 1 left, and it is Runza. He's going to get himself out of town, but 5 kills. That was big, and that was
Mamo, no!
1 ultimate.
Yeah, and Mamo boost, right? So it was mostly just Savage Beast his Earth Shatter, and then Mamo uses. I mean, only Mamo used his, right? So it's a waste. It's kind of a shame missing Earth Shatters, but that should be Savage Beast.
Oh, this is gonna be Nano Boost. That's gonna be everything. The Graviton Surge lands onto everyone. Vortex manages to get himself 2, and the Rocket Barrage from behind. Bulls with 2, Teggers with 1, and the entire team gets wiped.
That was so painful to watch. Oh my lord. So they pop everything, right? Like they start off draft to use.
Vortex actually pops everything as well.
Oh,
he plays the ultimate, gets himself 2. He's actually going to get himself a triple at the end. Fantastic play. And the Zyra Graviton Surge was massive. Absolutely massive.
And this is another. And this is why. This here, right here, is why you need to keep track of ultimates. Because moving through a corridor is like one thing, but so much stuff went wrong there. Daggers was able to hit a huge bionic grenade on that like little cluster of people.
And ball of death.
Yeah,
it's just a ball of death.
And Drafty already used his nano boost and they picked off Savage Beast, so they were in kind of a nice position as well. So there was no need for them to pull the trigger there. And Vexen Runza already used his what's it called, the Lucio ultimate,
sound barrier.
The sound barrier. Like they immediately popped all their ultimates, and it was like, No.
But they
No,
went
and
out the doorway. They came through the doorway with an arrow move.
They already had everything popped.
Yeah.
As soon as Savage Beast got killed, they were trigger happy. Smokey fires. Like, oh well, this seems like a good place to to fire my Graviton Surge.
That was one of the most beautiful Graviton Surges I've seen in a while. And look who's getting hovered here.
Yeah.
Maybe the Mercy. We're seeing Savage Beast on the Genji, and Bulls has picked up the Tracer.
Yes, this is what you need to do, Entropy. Get that Torbjorn in. Go for a turtle composition. Why? The only thing I'm disappointed about is that we don't see Darky on May. It's like the only thing missing here.
Actually, Runza's playing this better. Putting those webcams up exactly where I want to see them. I call them webcams because they look like little webcams.
Oh, that's cute, man.
They look like little webcams.
Yeah, no, I get it. You don't.
I like that because now he's going to be able to charge that ultimate a little bit faster. Yeah, it was only 3. But he managed to put out the turrets. So let's see how much he's going to instantly charge as soon as those lasers go off. He got 7%, but still, it's something. It's a start. He's now that much closer to getting his ultimate earlier, and that's what they're going to need. See how they're going to use this. Get straight onto the point, and they've actually almost captured it on that first little checkpoint there as Deggers takes out the turret. So Gene is down the turret already, and the charge is coming through onto Mamo. That's going to be Runza trading with Deggers there. Runza with 2. Really good little double kill onto the Symmetra, and Gene's got his turret back, so he's going to be able to lay out the hurt as Mamo.
It's working!
Up Smokey.
The turtle composition is working. That's the dream.
What was Savage Beast doing? He charged forward towards the Torbjorn turret, and Gene gets a triple.
That's going to be playing the game. I kid you not. Okay, so all jokes aside, now it actually does get like you need to get them on the next attack. Because once a Torbjorn and a Symmetra are entrenched, you know what? If you're able to really make use, you should replace this turret though. Yeah, okay, that's good. Once you're able to really get that Molten Core chain going, then you're that's gonna be really bad.
Well, Deggers is gonna get dropped by Mamo, but Savage Beast takes him out. Gene's dropped Bulls once again, so Bulls not doing quite so well. Vortex finally gets it, but was that the Molten Core pop?
Yeah, he used it.
Spent most of it getting the hammer out. Obviously, he does get these
boosts,
and he got dropped off. Vortex drops it again. The Molten Core is pretty much wasted. Good investment from the ultimates there, but Savage Beast has got obviously the back, and he's gonna charge forward into everyone. Does have the Earth Shatter, is going to use it. That's going to be return Earth Shatter for Earth Shatter. 2 kills. Degger Runza going to get himself 1 as Mambo picks up Deggers. The rockets are firing down from Bulls as Vortex picks up Gene. So no Torbjorn for a little bit. They need to find this turret, the Symmetra.
Yeah, I really like switch from Bulls to Farah here. Tracer really doesn't work versus Torbjorn and Symmetra. They have spotted the teleporter, but I think in this scenario I would rather see the shield generator to be frank. Because you also run a Torbjorn, right? Like if your team gets wiped, you're in such a bad position anyway.
Yeah.
But the turtle composition is working. And it's actually, I feel like with Smoke, on their next push they should be able to deal with this. Because they will have the Graviton Surge, which is amazing against this composition. And the Nano Visor, so that should be enough, but they need to be really careful. They're already quite low.
Well, Vortex has taken the turret out one more time. The Savage Beast chops forward. That's going to be the Tactical Visor coming out from Vortex. Actually blows it a little bit early. Does pop Darky, and the rockets from Bulls coming down. Mambo can't look away because no matter where he looks, he's going to get shot on. Savage Beast is going to take out Runza, and there's going to be the Graviton Surge onto multiple members. Savage Beast misses a point-blank charge onto absolutely no one. That's pretty destructive. Bulls takes out the turret, sorry, and that's going to be the rocket coming forward. Can they get anything else? They are running out of time. It's going to be the ulti coming
nice,
through from Savage Beast, locking them in place. Can they get anything? Molten Core's going to get popped. The sound barrier thrown out. Bulls does have access to his ultimate. Keep your eye on him. When is he going to use it? Vortex gets 1, but the ultimate's going to come through. That's going to be Bulls with 1 with the ultimate, and that is going to be it. Darky gets himself a double kill as Mambo takes out Bulls. Smokey's going to pick up Darky. 19 seconds on the clock. Can they hold the point? This is all to play for at this point. Smokey trying to take out the turret, does manage to drop Gene. Mambo also holding it. 9 seconds on the clock. Bulls has made the switch to Tracer. He's trying to get there. This is 4 seconds left. Vortex, Savage Beast coming down, Smokey takes out the turret. Are they going to get anything else? Overtime is ticking away. That's going to be the ultimate, the Graviton Surge onto multiple members, and that's not what Underdogs need. Bulls looking for Drafty, they're wording through it. Savage Beast manages to get himself one. Bulls with another one as well. Can they hold that point? Overtime is ticking away, and it's gonna be Underdogs who actually have got themselves on the point, but I don't know if it's gonna be for long enough as the overtime is just held still. Bulls dashing around, flashing around, trying to keep this overtime ticking for as long as possible. Vexing with the double kill. Timeout. Oh.
It's a draw. What the hell? What do we do now?
Let's see how they're gonna play this out, actually.
And there might be, like a best of 3 on a King of the Hill map. That's usually what happens. Okay, so to reiterate, there were a lot of mistakes here on the side of Underdogs. Ooh, this is going to be cool. How often do you see this?
Too much when I play with my friend on Symmetra. Steals all the play of the games. It's sad. I'm actually a little bit sad not to see Smokey's Graviton Surge get it.
Yeah.
Onto multiple people. I think we'll be getting to a best of 3 on the King of the Hill. We'll wait to get confirmed on that to find out exactly what will be going on.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, that was very close then between Entropy and Underdogs.
Yeah, like I said, I feel like first of all, props to Entropy. So I was saying go for a cheesy defense composition. They did, and they pulled it off. So I'm very happy with that. This is the first time we've seen something like this actually work. Okay, it looks like it's going to be Nepal, so I assume that's what they're going to play, and I assume it's going to be best of 3. But we're going to wait for admins to let us know what is happening.
It might go to 3, like a 3-0, and then it'll be a best of 5. Or
okay. Yeah. No one. We don't know. We should know, honestly, but it's kind of bad on our end. That being said, all self-deprecating jokes aside, I do feel like, especially at the end there was the penultimate team fight, right, where you had a Nano Visor and I think it was a Reinhardt ultimate, but I'm not entirely sure. It was Nano Visor, was that for sure. There was one other ultimate that would have, I think it was Sound Barrier, actually. That would have, really allowed them to tip the skill in their face. What happened, though, is they basically used 2 ultimates to have Vortex chase Mamo.
Yeah.
And Vortex was a nano-boosted soldier, and Mamo was a Reinhardt who's just like, I'm just going to, like, shield and spin my mouse around really fast.
Yeah.
It's basically a waste of 2 ultimates, and because of that, you can't really, it's not necessarily Vortex's fault, because, like, what do you do if everyone else is just hiding around the corner? You have so many, like, little corners and crevasses in Numbani that it actually is hard to use that. But instead, if they waited to pull the trigger there, they might have been able to get more out of that. I think if they would have played that a little bit slower, they would have been fine. However, it's really understandable considering that, they're very, very tense. You have like 30 seconds left at that point. It's like the pressure is on. You need to get through this. So I'm not surprised by it, but I think if they played that specific engagement better, they probably would have won it. However, they didn't. Entropy really put the pressure on them, and it worked out. So good play by Entropy.
And the Torbjorn came through. It was more a distraction technique. They focused so much on taking that turret out, but then suddenly they turn around and be like, oh, everyone's on top of us. This isn't what we need. I feel that maybe the Mercy actually would have been a legitimate pick there. Yeah. Because the amount of times Entropy threw so many ultimates out on the defense and took out Underdogs, had Mercy been there just hiding and just rezzed everyone, that could have been so much bigger, because at that point, then we would have been looking at a story of Entropy using all their ultimates and then going, oh, we just wasted everything and Underdogs are standing on top of us again. But what actually happened was Entropy didn't have to worry about their kind of economy of ultimates, and they just blew them when they needed to, and it netted them the draw there, which was probably quite good for their kind of esteem at this point in the game. Obviously, you did just kind of get thrashed on Ilios pretty hard. They managed to capture the point for a very small amount of time and then just got completely wiped again. So kind of draw with Underdogs on what seemed to be a really, really crushing first rotation. They got really crushed by Underdogs on that first kind of attack, especially when you get team wiped with 14 seconds left and you're like, right, we've blown the ultimates, let's go in. And a massive Zarya ultimate hits you. To then turn that around and draw it out against them, that's got to do something for your kind of self-esteem at this point into the game. So, yes, maybe they're going to load through into Hollywood, feeling a little bit kind of more refreshed and a little bit more like, okay, we actually could pull this back. We didn't just get 3-0 for nothing. Okay.
So if you end up to a random King of the Hill map will be chosen randomly. So that's what's going to happen.
Okay.
So it is now a 1-0 with 1 draw. So we'll only have 3 more maps, this one included. Rather. How do you feel about it? I mean, I'm a huge fan of Hollywood. I think it's both thematically and design-wise a pretty cool map. But how do you feel about it?
I hate the first point. I love it after the first point. The first point is a little hard on attack because there's literally only 2 ways through. You have to go through the camera room or through the big arch. Once you get beyond there, the world does kind of become your oyster and it opens up quite a lot for different flanking techniques. But the problem is you do get chipped down quite heavily on that kind of first push. And that's the problem you've got here. So once you kind of get beyond the first point and capture the first point, that's when it gets super exciting because you've got all those high grounds. Snipers excel on this map, and it's super fun to watch.
Any notorious Widowmakers, no Gotsuki or no Solax, unfortunately, which I'm sure we're going to see at some point. However, we do see... So, if it works once, why not try it again? As we see... the Torbjorn Symmetra composition being called upon once again.
This is another really good one for this because basically what you can do is you can either focus completely on the arch and just make it so impossible to pass through that they have to walk through the small door of the computer room, or you make the Torbjorn watch one door and the Symmetra turrets watch the other, and then no matter where you go, you're going to take chip damage pushing through. I actually really like this adaptation here where we see Entropy run out of the side door because they knew that the turrets were coming down, so they smartly went through the side, didn't lose any health, didn't give any charge up straight off the bat, and actually they managed to get themselves through that first kind of really irritating point without...
Oh, that's huge! Bulls immediately picks off Gene, and now the turret is down, and now he's at 6-5. Man, Bulls on Tracer.
Well, now we're going to see the charge forward. Savage Beast just runs into the back. Deggers does manage to pick up Mambo, and everyone is just going down on the side of Underdogs. Oh, sorry, Entropy here. As Underdogs get themselves on the point. 6 people on there, and they're going to catch this first point in such a short amount of time. They got 5 minutes, 30 seconds to push here.
That's a very convincing way of saying, well, that last game was kind of a fluke, and we're having none of it. And Bulls on Tracer.
This is when the map gets exciting as well. Lots of high ground. Both teams going to use it, and we're seeing Gene on the McCree here. Let's see how he's going to work this.
Yeah, McCree's really nice. You have so many ways of dealing with your enemies. It's really hard for them to get to you.
Plus he suits it, so that means he's stronger because it's all West Cowboys.
Yeah, man.
Right?
He's on the saloon. Yeah, he gets +5 damage, right?
Yeah. He's actually going to hop down behind Deggers, and will he find the flashbang? No, Bulls takes him out, so it's nothing to worry about. And there's really not a lot of play-by-play action here. Lots of people getting kills, Bulls does have to get 2, but in the real long run, when you look at it, it is literally just Underdogs just walking the car through.
Savage Beast charges in and dies. You know, that's just
nothing unexpected there then.
Kind of what you expect in a game of Overwatch that features him.
Gene got a kill.
Yeah.
Saves out Bulls. And the car actually stops the second Bulls goes down. So maybe they were the confidence they needed there. Mambo actually very aggressive, lands an Earth Shatter, but no one's at his back, and the Tactical Visor is going to get thrown down. So is Darky actually going to get anyone? He does manage to drop Deggers, but they have no Mambo, and the Tactical Visor was almost wasted. Graviton Surge onto so many members. Campbell gets the grenade. Vortex is going to pick up Darky, and now we're going to see the fight come out. Gene with one runner gets himself another onto the fight. Actually, a really good setup there from Underdogs, but Entropy managed to turn that fantastically.
Yeah, without any I mean, they popped popped Ronza's sound barrier there, but Savage Beast tried to charge in, and that got blown up. And with him blown up, the rest of his team was easily focused down by the combination of all the DPS plays on the side of Entropy. So, that's kind of a waste of a really, really nicely placed Graviton Surge from Smokey. And this is like the hardest part.
Oh, Savage Beast does get nano boost. The sound barrier this time's going to come out. Fantastic Earth Shatter onto multiple members. Vortex also gets himself a kill, and the team wipe is coming through. Darky does manage to get himself one.
Never mind.
Gets himself onto the high gravity. He just gets slammed and falls off the roof of that house. Fantastic team fight and turnaround from Underdogs.
It's the casting curse, right? Like every time you say, "Oh, this is such a hard part of the map," because you have like a pretty long distance to walk, and it's like a really lot of places to hide and choke points, and then they just blow them up for no apparent real reason, you know.
What is Savage Beast really needs to temper his aggression. Charges in and gets dropped. Ronza actually manages to get a double kill on the Lucio. Beautiful. I'm going to be very happy when you see that. Yeah, Savage Beast really needs to temper his aggression. He charged in with no one at his back, no one really particularly ready to go in, and they could have just walked the payload in. So it did just cost him a few seconds of the push
but
there.
They still make it work, which is the most interesting. Like, that's always the most interesting part of seeing him play. Like, they know
who's
what
at
he
fault
does.
for that? Is that Entropy maybe just feeling a little nervous, or is it them just kind of failing to go, okay, they're down their Reinhardt, we don't need to
I think that if you
charge.
if you give Bulls a second of...
Oh, that's a big Graviton Surge onto multiple members. Mambo Darky gonna get himself a kill, but Savage Beast does drop one. Bulls manages to return a kill onto Mambo as Runzy drops Smokey. Are they gonna look for a couple more Bulls? The only one left around, dashing, flashing. Gene takes out Savage Beast, and it is just Bulls left alive.
Yeah, as I was saying before, they got blown up by a nicely placed. There's only only one ult. They used devices there as well, actually. So 2 ultimates, but still have 4 ultis left. Pretty good spot, and they should be able to stall the payload for a bit here. No, I think that it's just like the rest of the team of Underdogs, like they're really used to this. And if you give Bulls a second of space on Tracer, you see what he can do to teams.
Well, let's see. That's going to be the Earth Shatter. Hits onto a few. Savage Beast charges Mambo into the back. Mambo lands an Earth itself, but it actually hits no one. That's going to be 2 for 2 traded so far in the overall look at the fight. Another 1 kill picked up per side. It is a 3v3. It's all down to Bulls. Darky pace out Savage Beast. Bulls is going to drop Gene. Bulls now versus Vexen. He's going to have to ping himself out, trying to take on the 2v1, but it's not going to be enough. A couple of ultimates expended, but Smokey now has Graviton Surge. Bulls has the sticky grenade available, and there's also a nano boost, so this could be absolutely devastating.
He has one job. He needs to make sure that this nano pulse bomb combination or Graviton Surge pulse bomb combination isn't working.
There's going to be the one, the backline is the only one's caught. That's going to be 2 for Bulls, 2 for 2 so far, but the supports are down on the side of Entropy. They have a lot to work with as Bulls picks himself up a triple kill. Is he going to get any more? I want to see a quadra, but Smokey manages to take it out. That's going to be the sound barrier coming through as Vortex drops it in as Vexen all alone. Runza and Darky, Drafty are there. They are 2 supports versus 5 teammates. We're going to see the payload finally walk through onto the parking space. Fantastic cap there from Underdogs.
Yeah, it looks like we need another pause. Okay, well, they say never mind because, you know, at this point probably would have been... yeah, as I was saying, like, this is something that is... If you're playing McCree, at this point... well, okay. I didn't even notice that. That wasn't done yet. If you're playing McCree at this point, and you can like you should know by this at this point that they do have that Graviton bomb combination. It's your job to make sure it doesn't happen. But Smokey does hit the Graviton Surge on the 2 supports, and the second they get picked off by Bulls, who, you know, like, no hard feelings towards Gene because Bulls is an insane tracer. Like, I'm perplexed at how well he's doing and how he's like pulling the entire enemy team apart, but that's like the one job you have at that point if you're still playing McCree. If you have Darky on Brodog, it's, you know, then that comes on him, but you know that's what they're going to try, like 100%.
Yeah.
So, but Gene was a little bit too far away,
Bulls is hovering the Junkrat, man.
Yeah, I like Junkrat on this map. If
Junkrat's brilliant, especially on attack. Actually, he's very, very obnoxious. Sorry, it's defense, isn't it?
Yeah, I was about to go. Are you sure about that, Jeff?
No, it's defense. But no matter what, attack and defense, he's pretty obnoxious on this map. Setting traps up, and again, it's a similar thing we were talking about with the Torbjorn Symmetra, where you kind of just shut one like entrance off, or part of that entrance off, because he can put the trap down. Which either hinders or slows your attack forward. So we're going to see how that works out for them here. Whether or not they actually are committing to it. Because I can't see him at the moment. So he might be all the way back at base still. No, I don't know. Somewhere. Drafty on the Widowmaker though. This is something I'm excited to see. Is he going to stick to that?
Looks like it. I mean, he would switch off now, right? So he is going to stick with that.
Attack Widowmaker. Not bad of snipers on attack. I kind of get the Hanzo on attack if you're good at Hanzo.
Yeah. If you're Seagull, it's like, sure. Go for it.
If you're Seagull. Let's see if Drafty can make it work. I'm going to give him, you know, like every time I play with a Hanzo, I'll give him the benefit of the doubt. They might be good. So it might work out.
There might very well be, yes.
Savage Beast misses the charge again, and that's actually going to be Mambo picking himself up a charge here. Drafty actually is going to try and take Bulls on the Junkrat. I don't think Widowmaker's going to have particularly the most fun time, but Darky actually drops him. So let's see, the defense pretty scattered here, but they are trying to hold it together for as long as possible. The whole team, Savage Beast has got the charge, but that's going to be 2 kills. Gene manages to take out Deggers, and they're getting any more. That is the question. Vortex has that high ground, so obviously he does have that easier headshot to land, standing up on top of that cafe. The Smokey drops out of Mambo, so this is probably going to be Entropy's first push
that, it should be hold, yeah. Ooh, that was a very tense situation. Yeah. Now Bulls is on Widow as well.
Bulls says, do you think you can play Widowmaker? I'll play Widowmaker.
Yeah, Drafty has switched, but doesn't matter to Bulls.
He'll take out Gene instead.
It's Bullsy, right? Like Jay-Z, but as a bull?
I thought you meant in the sense that he's being ballsy.
Oh, yeah, that as well.
That...
both of those, yes to both of those statements in that regard.
Where actually is Bulls on the map right now? I'm just trying to keep my eye on
him. He's standing behind.
Yeah, I can see it. Sound barrier's going to come through. That's going to be a multi-man Graviton Surge. Can they actually pick it right up? No. The Reinhardt shield and the sound barrier is enough to keep them in it as Mambo charges forward. We are looking for Bulls. He manages to take out Drafty. Bulls with a double kill on the Widowmaker. Vortex with 2. Deadeye manages to get himself 1 as Vortex comes out with a triple kill. Defense comes through from the side of Underdogs. The Entropy once again thwarted. Mambo is about to get that Earth Shatter. Darky, does have access to that tactical visor as well. So ult economy in favor of Underdogs. Savage Beast does have his Earth Shatter available as well, though.
Yeah, I you know, like kind of going off on a side note here, but I love the sound of like sniper rifles. And Widowmaker is the only one that's like a really good sniper sound in Overwatch. Like, I know it's not necessarily well designed or a good game, but it feels so good to hear that.
I'd agree with you, but I mean, obviously Anna's got darts. That's going to be the Earth Shatter actually missing. So now Mambo, they need to take him out. The Transcendence is thrown down straight away. Maybe a little preemptive there, but it doesn't matter because they're dropping members left, right, and center. Bulls with so many headshots, dropping Gene every time he steps forward. And fantastic play there coming through on the side of Underdogs. They've got 49 seconds to hold. And even if Entropy capture, they have less time to push on point 2. So really, really playing with time here. Gonna have to use Mambo's ultimate pretty soon. He's gonna have to land it and not get focused out so early.
As you were saying, Stronger using the Tranquility Gun might lose them, or might lose them.
Oh, it doesn't actually land, but it does pull Smokey back. Bulls manages to drop Darky. Smokey takes Mambo out on the back there. Gene with another headshot. Bulls with another headshot. Gene actually switching to the Winston, but Bulls with one more double kill on that Widowmaker. Savage Beast slams the hammer, picks up Vexen. 11 seconds on the clock. And I don't think Entropy are going to be able to take Hollywood. Bulls with one more, taking out Drafty. Savage Beast is just trying to pin them back. Mambo charges forward. Can he keep them alive? No, Smokey drops him, and that is going to be Underdogs.
Yeah, taking map number 3, which means they're up 2-0. That last offense was a bit unfortunate. As I was saying before, the last fight started, if you played a little bit slower there, Vaxen had like 80% ultimate charge. Right at the you have like 30 seconds left on the clock. This is going to be a Nanovisor play, I reckon.
I'd assume so.
Ah, no Nanovisor. Oh yeah, is
using the visor still.
Yeah.
Oh, beautiful.
Nano boost, lovely combination.
Vortex was almost a unsung hero throughout that. I mean, whenever you have a soldier, you kind of just overlook it because he's doing his work. That's what you expect. I was focusing very heavily on Bulls and on his sniping because he was doing so well on the Widowmaker. Vortex kind of just being that consistent damage threat. And while you have Bulls sniping off the kind of key targets, which he was doing incredibly well, he was always taking out either the Ana, either the Soldier, or the McCree, and just consistently taking those 3 out. Vortex was there then as the kind of buffer to that, and making sure the front line was dropping and keeping like that consistent damage out the whole time. And Vortex did a fantastic job there. And like I said, a little bit of an unsung hero. Obviously, we're keeping our eye on Bulls. I'm still questioning Savage Beast, and they're 2-0 up at the moment, and it looks like they probably will go for the 3-0 here as we load onto King's Row. Maybe going through to later matches, a more kind of well-communicated team, maybe a kind of more coordinated team, they will be able to punish Savage Beast a lot heavier than what we're seeing Entropy put out here. And this is something that the Underdogs need to look at going into next week and potentially the finals. Is Savage Beast's aggression really needs to be controlled. And I mean, we sung praises about him last season and how fantastically well and how aggressively he was playing. We were going, these are really good charges, and like his constant aggression is always getting his team advantages. But in this particular case,
it's not really.
I think he needs to kind of slow down a little bit, because you're seeing the punish come through from Entropy when it was kind of left open for them to punish. That second map, which came to the draw, was definitely a map we saw that on. So Savage Beast really needing to maybe control that aggression. And this would be the game to practice that, to maybe play a little bit more kind of laid back and wait for them to come to you and then go aggressive. You're 2-0 up. Try to play a little bit and see how more cleanly they can close it out, and maybe that's something he needs to look at going into later weeks.
Well, they can do that, or they can, play Symmetra. Can do that as well. Symmetra isn't bad in this map by any stretch, but it's playing Symmetra in conjunction with Widowmaker is somewhat cheesy. Not necessarily bad though. If you can slow down the initial advance, you're probably in a pretty good position to, just hawk the first pointer. It looks like that's what they're going to do. Darky on Reaper. That's what I want to see.
Oh,
come on,
man. Very excited to see that. We're actually having Bulls versus Drafty. Drafty's actually landed quite a few more headshots because he's charging up massively and he's chipping them away. So really well played here. And this is what I like to see out of a Widowmaker. Get yourself on that first point, get a couple of snipes, then get yourself on top of the hotel where you can now kind of shoot down a little bit easy. But Smokey, 2 kills straight off the back, and Savage Beast, very good. Finally kind of tempers that aggression, gets a good charge when it's needed. And that's what he's doing. Look at this tempered aggression, kind of going forward, then falling back because he understands now this is the time to maybe play a little bit further back. Really liking that kind of adaptation coming out from Savage Beast. Can he keep it up though?
Drafty wins that 1v1 against Bulls, and he's like, the guy in solo queue is like, guys, I'm winning all my 1v1s, and then my entire team is dead. What is happening?
Darky gets drops as well, so still getting further and further away from that Reaper ultimate. So we're seeing 2 more kills pour through for Underdogs. Their defense is being so good, and Bulls answers the 1v1 that time.
Ooh, I'm surprised at the teleporter. I mean, it's fair, but I always feel like the shield generator is so good as well.
It's fantastic, and especially considering the fact that actually Entropy are really struggling to pick Underdogs up. Underdogs really maybe playing with that kind of like investment of, if we lose, we have a chance to pull this back on this first point, and maybe that's why we're seeing that come out of them.
they don't have a flanker, and I think if you're not playing against like a tracer, then I mean Reaper is a flanker, but you know, like not against you or a tracer or a diva. And if they're not playing that, then I like the choice for the teleporter. But in general, because you can place more far back, right? But in general, I don't know. I think at this point...
Oh, that's going to be the Nano Shatter as Vexen gets slammed into the wall. Nano is not going to be long for the world as well. Gene does pick up Smokey, but obviously he has the teleporter to get himself back into town. It's a 2-for-1 overall so far as the snipers are just coming pouring in as Bulls picks up Runza. Oh, this Widowmaker is beautiful to watch.
Yeah.
Oh, that's going to be a hook as well.
Man, Bulls is on fire tonight. Like, doesn't matter what he plays. His Pharah was okay, but everything else has been really, really good.
Bulls. Slams Drafty down as well there. Lovely. Oh, Savage Beast. Okay, now he's gone very aggressive with not many people at his back, but it doesn't matter because he's just dropping so many members. 3-for-1. Really, really good trade in favour of the Underdogs here. And with 1 minute 15 on the clock. Looking at the ultimates, 2 free ultimates will be available. Maybe actually 4 on the side of Entropy very soon. Versus just 2 on the side of Underdogs. Obviously, they do kind of have that high ground advantage at the moment. And Vortex is up there. So he's going to be able to land that damage as Vortex actually drops Gene. So now we're going to see the Earth Shatter as the full Hogwarts pop. MRO charging back, but a fantastic ultimate coming through. Let's see if the Earth Shatter is going to come through on the return. No, it's going to be multiple kills coming through onto the side of Entropy. Entropy have got themselves on top of a point as Bulls takes out Vexen. Bulls hopping down onto MRO. Gonna cut the healing there as Gene with a tactical visor drops Bulls. It's got a little bit more. Can the hook land onto Gene? Yes, it can, but after hook comes through, keeping Gene alive. That's going to be the heal, but it's not enough as Gene rockets center through. They are almost going to lose the point. So close. Is Savage Beast going to land a charge? Yes, he is, but the point is alive. Bulls have switched to the Tracer, trying to keep this going. It's 2-for-0 now as they kind of get themselves back on the point. Vexen being forced off the point as Runza is on the run. Now we're going to see Nano charging forward as the hook comes through. Earth Shatter returns, lands onto absolutely no one. Hook onto Bulls, but a charge keeps him alive. Gene on the run, Smokey drops him, and that's going to be round 1. 0 captures.
Whoa! Like, pop. Savage Beast hits 2 charges in a row there. He's like, okay, well, we're about to lose the point, so I'm going to play seriously now, because I'm kind of done with this. And just everything comes together there. So Savage Beast charges in, is able to actually hit the charge on Runza and Soldier there, so he gets blown up. Then you have Bulls on Trace already hopping and darting around the point, and at that point, yeah, like what do you do if you're already down your Soldier and Tracer is just tearing you a new one?
Are we actually going to see a Sombra here?
Sombra versus Symmetra.
I mean, if Drafty actually picks the Torbjorn, that's actually going to be secretly legit. Like,
yeah, we've seen pull of that before, so I don't doubt it. Like no joke, we've seen Vortex and Underdogs in general play that before, so wouldn't be surprised. I don't know what all the stuff that they're saying in chat is because I'm not speaking Maltese, but I've been told by some people that it's like his trash talk is on point. So Savage Beast is probably has a good name or reason behind, you know, the fact that he's named Savage Beast.
I mean, all the UK teams like don't normally trash talk all that well. They try to, but I don't think it ever really comes out as well as you'd expect it to.
I should like it.
I wish I could understand how good this trash talk is. I bet it's actually not as good as we've been sold. I don't know.
I don't know.
I'm just making assumptions here.
Who knows?
Actually picking up the Winston, kind of trailing back towards the game and not the trash talk quality coming out. I really like Winston on this map, especially on this first point, because he can just charge on, get that flank, and he was playing relatively well at first. See Bulls, see if he can make these picks on the snipes here. Just lose a chunk of his health to the Symmetra. Savage Beast actually picks up, runs straight off the back, so Smokey is going to pick Darky up on the back. Darky's going to pick Smokey up on the back as well there. That's actually going to be 2 coming through. So the Torbjorn turret being really, really irritating. He just got Torbjorn just fixing it. That's all he does. Just sit around the corner of his hammer and just tinker away. Darky, really good hooks so far.
they already have the teleporter. Like, I don't have to tell you how huge that's going to be.
My defense teleporter online.
I think
Yeah,
Boo's
there we
might
go.
need to switch to his Tracer fairly soon.
I mean, Tracer isn't that good against Symmetra and Torbjorn.
I'm just thinking flanking, and obviously he's been quite good on the flanking.
Oh, yeah. But like, look at all the Symmetra.
I'm gonna follow Winston here and see what he's gonna get, because he's running up. He's just looking to deal with the Torbjorn, and it looks like he's actually gonna do that. Does take out the turret, and he's just gonna hop down now, looking for actual Torbjorn himself. That's gonna be a good fight coming through. Smokey hops onto Mambo. This is pretty big. They do need to find this teleporter though, because it is starting to cost them. And Smokey hopping forward. They've now found it, so Smokey's gonna try and take it out ASAP. He's got Vexen to deal with, but the turret's taken out. So now with 3 kills, the turret going down, and actually the point getting captured. This is really big for the Underdogs. Suddenly they turned it around.
That's game, right?
Be looking towards 3-0. Vortex with 2 kills. I think we've got this. That's going to be the Earth Shatter onto 2 Savage Beast charges forward, and the 3-0 comes through for Underdogs.
Man,
That's just switched on.
Smokey's Winston there. You know, we were kind of like, Winston is such a hard character going earlier. It's Smokey jumps into the enemy backline. First takes down the turret, then takes down Torbjorn himself. Yeah, there we go. That's very deserved. That was mostly him at the end there. So yeah, here he picks him off, jumps down, kills Renner through the shield, and also kills Runza, and then destroys the teleporter. And at this point, he'd already destroyed the other turret, and he's being supported really well by Daggers, who, you know, is as a